let's bring back our great friend, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator Blackburn, I want to get to the Kamala Harris business at the border. And by the way, thank you for coming back and helping us assess this as you promised. But first, you know, here's Biden double-crossing Republicans and just about everybody else, and it's up to no good. What's your quick thinking? And maybe you've been on the phone with some of your colleagues today. What do you hear, ma'am?
Most people are surprised that he did this quick of a double cross. And then they're looking at this. I think all of us are looking at this as bad faith negotiation. You mentioned Senator Portman in his notes, no taxes, no hikes, focusing on real infrastructure, adding broadband infrastructure to that. And this was the agreement in principle they had, repurposing some of that CARES Act money that's already in the pipeline but not being used. But, you know, it seems that Biden had a set of ideas, and he decided that regardless of what he said to the 10 senators, that he had predetermined that there would not be this deal to satisfy them on physical infrastructure unless he got everything else, the other. Now the price tag is $3 trillion. So in total, what he's talking about is spending $4 trillion. This is new money spending and not repurposing that CARES Act money. We cannot afford this. And I will tell you quite honestly, what we are seeing, Larry, is that this is an administration that our children and grandchildren cannot afford. They are running up the debt totals faster than we can talk.
You know, I want to get to the border and Veep Harris in a second.
Yeah.
But it's so odd to me, Senator. So President stands with the 10 negotiators and all is well, and they're all clapping each other in the back. And then he walks away, he mumbles something, and then he walks away, and then 1 hour later, he issues this clear as a bell statement that there has to be linkage between hard infrastructure and the rest of their, you know, statist agenda. This is like, did someone get to him in that hour? Or did they like say, oh no, you blew it, you should have said this, and now you've got to go back and say that? I mean, what happened here in an hour?
I think that they show their intent from the get-go. It was not a good faith negotiation. Republicans are for infrastructure, for roads, for bridges, for highways, interstates, waterways, runways. We are for that and have been and have put more than one offer on the table. Senator Capito has done a really solid job trying to work on this issue. But see, the thing is, they're not interested in that. They're not interested in doing more with less. They want to do less with more of your money and go waste it and then pass the bill to your children and grandchildren. And when we know that our nation needs road repairs, our rivers need to be dredged, our ports need to have maintenance work, we have runways, highways, they need maintenance work, our railways, they're needing maintenance work. And what they want to talk about is a Green New Deal, giving credits for people to go buy electric cars while they still don't have a battery that is going to get you much further than 350 miles, and not that far if it's a hot day in the South and you've got 3 or 4 people and a load of luggage in the car.
All right. I want to go right to the border now, Senator Blackburn. We've got Fox's Peter Ducey live in El Paso, Texas, with the latest on the Veep strip. Hello, Peter. What you got?
Larry, good afternoon. The closest that the vice president got to the actual physical U.S.-Mexico border was at a port of entry, and we went inside. It kind of felt like being in the DMV or something. It was an administrative office where people who want to turn themselves in legally can go and say they want to do that. And that kept the Veep's focus here on people who are doing things the right way.
I hope this does not sound trite or corny, that we have the capacity to give people hope.
The vice president also met with a handful of young girls who are detained right now by Border Patrol, and she met with community faith leaders, including some who run shelters for migrants. She insists this trip to the border is supposed to inform her main focus, which is determining the root causes of migration, claiming that even though it's been months since she was put in charge of fixing the immigration system, this was all part of the plan. How did you decide that right now was the right time to make your first trip to the border?
Well, it's not my first trip. I've been to the border many times.
As the person in charge of the response.
I said back in March I was going to come to the border, so this is not a new plan.
And as some Republican critics charge that El Paso is not where the action is because most border crossings are happening hundreds of miles away from here, the local Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar disputes that, and she went so far as to say that El Paso is the new Ellis Island. Larry?
Yeah. Peter Doocy, thanks very much. Let me come back to Senator Marsha Blackburn, as we discussed the other night. You know, Senator, first of all, she really wasn't near the action. I guess that's a key point.
That's right.
But you and I talked about this. Where are the deliverables? Where are the deliverables? Where's the policy change that might start to fix this? I didn't hear any. Maybe you did.
There was no policy change that was offered, and there was no resolution to the issue. You know, we want to show compassion, or this is the new Ellis Island. Larry, these are individuals who are coming across the border illegally. The cartels are in charge on the Mexican side of the border. The cartels are having a banner year. They're making more money than ever. They are charging these people, abusing these children, sexual abuse, gangs, MS-13 gangs. These people are being abused as they are coming through the cartels to come into the country. The president of Guatemala, your officials in Mexico have all told the vice president that this is the Biden border crisis. President Trump had found a way to secure this border, and the Border Patrol finally, they were able to do their job. And now what they're looking at is people that are ridiculing them, spying on them, surveilling them, bringing these illegal entrants to the country to circumvent our laws. And then the federal government, in trying to hide it, what are they doing? They are sending these migrants into communities around the country without letting the elected officials know. So then you've got your counties and your states having to pick up the cost of education, health care, housing, child services, social services for these individuals who are traumatized because of the abuse they have taken from the cartels.
You know, we talked the other night, Senator. It was your insight. This has become a national political issue. This is not just a border issue.
That's right.
Although Republicans are winning elections in Democratic districts along the border because of it, but it is a national issue. You know, my thought here in terms of changing policies and having a deliverable that make a bad situation either less bad or really improve it the way Trump did, you're either for catch and release or you're for catch and deport. And I don't think the Bidens will or have ever said clearly they are for catch and deport. And therefore, they are not going to really defend the border. Am I wrong here? I mean, am I missing something here?
You are spot on, because what you need to do when they come in, you need to put them on a plane, and instead of flying that plane to Chattanooga, Tennessee, fly it back to the home country so that these individuals who have been abused can go back to their families. And that is how you deal with this. But to say we're going to go to El Paso and look at root causes, why not go to the Rio Grande that has seen twice as many illegal entrants as El Paso? Why not go to Arizona, where 40% of all the drugs that come into this country are coming across the Arizona border through the Sinaloa cartel, which is El Chapo's cartel? You have to admit there is a problem in order to recognize the problem and then solve the problem. So this is a national issue. It is every town a border town, every state a border state. It is about the security of our cities and our communities. It is about the health and security of children and of our teenagers, and they're encountering these street drugs, all the fentanyl that is flooding into our U.S. communities. Law enforcement says secure the border, slow down the entry of these drugs, and what administration do? Basically, they hang out the "y'all come" sign, and they just keep catching and releasing and sending individuals across the country to our communities.
On target. Senator Marsha Blackburn, can't thank you enough. You helped us earlier this week, and you made good on your promise to come back and help us again. Terrific stuff. Thanks very much. Now.